Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news, so listen up, because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the biggest moves in the NFC this offseason. Rumors are swirling that the Seattle Seahawks are deep in talks to acquire Jaylon Johnson from the Chicago Bears, and honestly, this might be a game changer for our secondary. We've seen what Johnson can bring to the table. A shutdown corner with a knack for making plays when it counts. The buzz is that the Bears, who are clearly in a rebuild mode after an abysmal 3-10 season, are willing to part ways with Johnson in exchange for a first-round pick swap in 2026 plus a fifth-round pick. That's a pretty significant draft capital, but it shows how much Chicago values a rebuild and clearing cap space, especially with over $16 million committed for 2026. They're also trying to free up some cash for their offensive line rebuild, considering they've been sacked a whopping 52 times this season. Now, why would the Seahawks be interested? Well, for starters, Johnson is only 26 years old, and he's been a lockdown corner for the Bears. Last season, he racked up an impressive 6 interceptions, 14 pass breakups, and maintained a PFF grade of 92.0, which puts him among the very best at his position. His ability to shut down top receivers is exactly what our secondary needs, especially to complement our existing core like Witherspoon, who's been playing at an elite level with a PFF grade of 88. With Johnson joining forces with Witherspoon, the Seahawks could transform into a true no-fly zone. Think about it, our pass defense, which currently allows around 200 yards per game, ranking 9th in the league, could potentially be reduced to around 160 yards, giving our defense a massive boost in pass EPA and overall effectiveness. And let's not forget, Johnson's career stats are nothing short of impressive. Since entering the league in 2020, he has accumulated 18 interceptions and 60 pass breakups, with an All-Pro season in 2024 that saw him snag 8 picks and score 5 defensive touchdowns. His ability to make big plays in crucial moments is undeniable, and one of the reasons he's so highly valued is his coverage grade, which was a stellar 93. Before his ankle injury caused him to miss a game in December 2025. His YAC allowed is just 35 yards, and he's a technician in coverage, rarely giving up big plays. The Bears are looking at their cap situation, which could push them to make tough decisions, and losing Johnson might be a blow to their backend, but for us, it's a massive upgrade. Now picture this scenario. Johnson, paired with Pritchett, who already had 2 interceptions in 2025 and a PFF grade of 85.9, could form a formidable duo, elevating our pass defense from a decent unit to one of the league's best. Our secondary would go from allowing 200 yards per game to something closer to 160, which is a huge leap. This would elevate our defense's overall efficiency, especially in the passing game, where every yard counts and turnovers are the name of the game. The impact on our team would be immense. With Johnson's ball-hawking skills, we could see a jump of around 16 additional passes defended, leading to more turnovers, potentially raising our league-leading takeaway rate from around 1.4 per game to closer to 2.0. That kind of increase can't be overstated. It's the difference between a good defense and a great one. Historically, adding a player like Ramsey in 2023 elevated the Dolphins' secondary by around 15%, and Johnson's addition could have a similar effect for us. Plus, with Arroyo injured, our secondary might need to rely more on shorter fields, and Johnson's shutdown ability would help in those situations, giving our offense more opportunities to thrive with shorter fields and more points. And of course, the Super Bowl implications are significant. The Seahawks already have a strong shot at making a deep playoff run, but acquiring Johnson could push our odds from plus 600 to plus 400, according to Caesars odds for the 2025 season. His playoff experience, including 4 interceptions, would be a massive X-factor against top-tier offenses like the Rams, Cooper Kupp, who's been a nightmare for defenses with over 1-0 yards this season. Johnson's presence could turn the tide in high-stakes games, boosting our win probability from around 57% to an impressive 73%. A huge leap for a team that's been building momentum all season long. Now let's talk about what this means for the rest of our roster. Metcalf, with his 100 receiving yards, continues to be our deep threat, and having a secondary that can neutralize top receivers like Kupp would open up more options for Geno Smith and our offense. It's about creating a balance, an attack that's dangerous on both sides of the ball. The addition of Johnson would complete a secondary that already has some solid pieces, turning us into a team that can dominate the air and force turnovers at critical moments. Looking at the bigger picture, this deal isn't just about one player. It's about setting a tone for the Seahawks' future. We're aiming for consistency, playoff success, and a shot at another Super Bowl. The secondary has been an area of concern at times, but with Johnson's elite skills, we'd be rewriting our defensive narrative. We're talking about a team that's been steadily improving, and this move could be the final piece to elevate us into true contenders. The Seahawks are known for their tough physical defense, and adding a player like Johnson would reinforce that identity, making it even harder for offenses to find open space. And let's not forget, this move also sends a message to the NFC. The Seahawks aren't just content to compete, they want to dominate. With Johnson, we'd be channeling that 2015 Broncos vibe, a team that turned their secondary into a fortress and went on to win the Super Bowl. Think about the potential: an unstoppable pass defense, a secondary that's a no-fly zone, and a team that's ready to take on anyone in the league. That's the kind of swagger and confidence this move could give us. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet, and the negotiations are still ongoing, but the signs point to a serious possibility. The Seahawks are in a position to make a bold move, and acquiring Jaylon Johnson would be a statement that we're all in on winning now and building a defense that strikes fear into the hearts of offenses across the league. It's about shaping the future, and if we land Johnson, it could be the beginning of a new era for the Seahawks, one marked by a dominant, relentless secondary that's as feared as it is respected. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So Seahawks fans, what do you think about this potential blockbuster deal? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing Johnson in the Honolulu blue and green? Do you believe he's the missing piece to take our secondary to the next level? I'd love to hear your thoughts, your predictions, and what you think this move means for our chances in the upcoming season. We've seen how crucial a shutdown corner can be. Just look at what Ramsey did for the Rams or what Diggs has meant for the Bills. With Johnson, we're talking about elevating our entire defense, making it almost impossible for opponents to throw against us. Looking ahead, if this trade goes through, it'll set the tone for the rest of the offseason. The Seahawks are no strangers to making bold moves, and this one could be the coup de grace. It's about building a team that's relentless, aggressive, and prepared to go head-to-head with any team in the league. Our fan base is buzzing, and the players are undoubtedly excited about the prospect of adding a player of Johnson's caliber. It's a move that says, we're here to contend and we're ready to dominate. And remember, the NFL is all about the details. The secondary often makes the difference between a good team and a great one. With Johnson, we're talking about a player who can turn the tide in critical moments, who can step up in the playoffs, and who can help us reach that ultimate goal, hoisting Lombardi again. The Seahawks have a rich history of creating legendary defenses when it counts most, and adding Johnson could be the next chapter in that story. The potential is there and the excitement is real. So stay tuned, Seahawks fans. This story isn't over yet, but if the rumors are true, we're about to see one of the most exciting upgrades to our defense in recent memory. Whether it's a trade, a signing, or just speculative talk, it's clear that the Seahawks are looking to make a statement, and that statement is loud and clear. We're here to win, and we're not backing down from the challenge. Let's keep our fingers crossed, stay fired up, and get ready for what might be one of the most pivotal moves of the offseason. Because when it happens, you can bet it'll be all over the headlines, and Seahawks Nation will be celebrating a new chapter in our quest for Super Bowl glory. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.